People with expired NDAs, what's the information you can now tell us? I had an NDA at the daycare I worked at. When I started, I worked with this crazy woman, let's call her Brenda, in the infant room. Now, Brenda was probably in her 60s but dressed like a 20-year-old in the 80s. I remember a spirit day we did that she showed up in a snakeskin miniskirt and knee-high Converse stilettos. Brenda was terrible with children, forcing them to eat by shoving spoons of hot porridge in their mouths and holding their head. She would barely burp the kids, force me to change all of the kids, and never did any activities with them, even though that was the selling point of this daycare. I was left to do all the paperwork and enrichment. She also discussed being hurt in various ways with bottles in the parking lot by her boyfriend who she stalked. I went to management more than once to voice my concern about her. She was a danger to kids. They told me, and so quote, be mean to her until she leaves. You know the boss won't fire her. Apparently, the daycare manager would get a good bonus if she didn't have to fire anyone, so she refused to do it. All the staff were underpaid, overworked, and the staff higher up were really good friends with the parents of some of the most annoying kids in the daycare. You couldn't do anything with those kids, their parents let them run the daycare and wondered why no one could get anything done. I had one of the kids say something incredibly rude and yell at me and her mom, then the assistant manager came in and blamed me for the actions of the kid, and apologized to her mom and assured her I will do better in teaching her kid. Excuse me? We were always told when parents were touring so we could put our best face on. When you tour a daycare, you are not seeing what the daycare is like. Teachers in other rooms were regularly yelling at kids, pulling arms, putting kids in timeouts, and not letting them eat with everyone if they acted up. Which is all incredibly not okay. If you tried to do everything the right way, it would take longer and you would get in trouble for not staying on schedule. I was invited to a pure romance party within my first week working there during class time. There was a designated crying and screaming room. One of the parents pulled their kid out of the daycare and left a well-earned 1-star review on Google, and the boss required every parent that worked at the daycare to leave a review. Even relatives who never set foot in the building were putting in reviews loaded with BS. So the grandmother of the kid wrote a review pointing that out as well. 2 1-star reviews don't stack up against 10 5-star reviews on Google, so no one really knows how bad it is.